Good morning, guys, and welcome to our customer webinar focused on the new hybrid workplace functionality we have just released. It's exciting to see so many faces with us today in the audience, and I'm very excited to share a little bit more about our most recent update. This webinar has been designed for operators who are interested in improving their service offerings by providing their members with a better hybrid experiences within their co-working space and generating more revenue from their private offices. My name is Michael Everts, and I'm a former co-working space operator and product marketer at OfficeRnD. I will be your host on this journey today, and so with that, let's get started. First, I briefly wanted to go over the agenda and time frame and give you guys an idea of the topics that we're going to be covering on this webinar. First, we're going to start off with a hybrid work overview, taking a look at some hybrid statistics and why it is becoming such an important part of the workplace experience for companies and members worldwide. Next, I'm going to do a deep dive demo, taking a look at the hybrid workplace functionality for both operators and member companies within your space. And finally, we'll end the presentation with some final business details and a Q&A focused on the new functionality. Just so you guys know, our product managers from the team are in the webinar chat and will be able to answer questions as they come up. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat and we will do our best to answer them, and I will do my best to echo them on the presentation so everyone can hear. And again, at the very end, for the last 5 minutes, we'll bring our product manager, Momchill, on this chat with me, and he'll be able to answer some of those questions directly in person. Again, thank you guys so much for joining today. And as I mentioned at the start, we will be providing a recording at the end of this webinar so that you can check back and reference this in the future. And with that, let's jump right into it. At OfficeRnD, we're on a mission to help operators build the next generation of flexible workspaces. As employees return to the office in new and different ways, we know there's an enormous opportunity for hybrid work inside co-working spaces. Newer workplace demands are emerging for the hybrid workforce, and companies really want to work in more collaborative ways. A request that we have frequently heard from operators over the past year comes from member companies that want to manage their employees in a more hybrid way. Many times we've heard there might be a team of 12 working out of a co-working space private office with only 6 desks. This team wants to collaborate on their team work schedules and ensure that there's room so they know when employees are coming into the office and when they're not. We've collected a lot of this feedback and built a solution by combining our 2 products, OfficeRnD Hybrid and OfficeRnD Flex. We have polished parts of OfficeRnD Hybrid and made the essential parts available for co-working member companies within Flex spaces. And we truly believe that this will help both the member companies and the co-working operators. Before we dive into the product, let's take a look at some stats about hybrid working to help you understand why member companies are now demanding this functionality. A recent study by Zippia found that 74% of companies plan to implement a hybrid work model over the next few years. Companies are looking for both tools and workspaces that will help them achieve this and will gravitate towards office space that allows them to do this even easier. Another study from Gallup found that 6 out of 10 remote employees prefer some degree of flexibility in the office going forward. Not only are these companies starting to enforce more hybrid work policies, but at the same time, employees themselves are starting to demand this level of flexibility within their office. Co-working spaces really have a unique opportunity right now to usher in a new age of hybrid work by providing these tools and services that allow members to work in a more modern and efficient way. So as I mentioned earlier, we have heard a huge amount of feedback from operators who have been speaking to their members about some of these challenges they're facing with hybrid work. And this is a big reason why we built the hybrid workplace integration. Some of the main complaints that we've heard so far from member companies include, 1, space management. A lot of these companies, regardless of their size, have more members than desks within their private office. What we're finding, not necessarily in co-working spaces, but in general right now, the most common employee to desk ratio right now is 2 to 1, but sometimes this goes up to 5 to 1. You can understand if you have a 4-person office and you have 20 people, how complicated that could be to manage your space and use the office efficiently. Another issue directly related to this that we've been hearing a lot about is booking confusion. A lot of companies are asking proactively for a solution to this within their private office. The current functionality of OfficeRnD Flex didn't offer optimal ways to solve this, but our other product, OfficeRnD Hybrid, does. And that's precisely why we've integrated these products. And finally, Office usage and visibility. In the past, member companies did not have insight when their teammates were using the Office and had to check in using other manual methods. We've heard some teams using Excel documents, Google Sheets, a lot of very manual ways to see who's coming into the office when, and tracking that to understand Office performance. All of these issues were leading to a poor co-working experience for certain member companies, specifically those in private offices. And so we set out to connect our two core products to provide an even more integrated workplace experience. So, as I mentioned, we set out to solve these challenges with the OfficeRnD Hybrid Workplace integration. The hybrid workplace integration helps operators offer additional services to members and unlocks new revenue opportunities within their flex space. Enabling this integration at their co-working space lets operators build competitive advantages with a unique offering by supporting companies that operate using the hybrid work model. Not all co-working spaces can offer this functionality to their members today, and so this is a way to really stand out in the market and make an impact to prospects that are touring your space. The hybrid workplace integration also allows operators to increase revenue from their space by maximizing the revenue per square foot and offering additional paid services to the members. And finally, this integration allows you to retain member companies for longer by offering an end-to-end workplace solution that boosts adoptions of your branded member apps and makes your workplace even stickier for member companies. And so with that, we present the OfficeRnD Hybrid Workplace. The hybrid workplace integration connects our two products, OfficeRnD Flex and OfficeRnD Hybrid, and is now live. This gives operators the ability to provide member companies easy-to-use booking tools for coordinating hybrid schedules and improving collaboration. As we mentioned before, the hybrid workplace integration helps both members and operators of co-working spaces. First, we're going to touch a little bit about the members so you can get an idea of what benefits members get within these co-working spaces. First of all, this integration lets member companies easily plan their work week in the office and book desks from the member portal, making it easy for their team to manage their work schedules and invite teammates to the same place. The workplace integration is also an ideal solution for companies working in larger offices or spec suites. It allows them to truly work in a hybrid model and plan their schedules, when only a portion of their team is in the office at any given time. And finally, the integration also provides deep analytics into how these teams with private offices are utilizing the workplace and allows these teams to adapt and optimize their office space accordingly. Member companies can monitor their employees' usage within the office and make more informed decisions about their workplace policies. So this is a quick look at some of the benefits for member companies, but let's take a jump into my demo account to see what the hybrid workplace experience looks like for your members whenever you enable it for them within your co-working space. Give me a moment. We'll jump into the hybrid demo account. Great. So right here, I have a demo member portal with my demo operating company, FlexSpace. Whenever you activate the hybrid workplace functionality for a member company, a new tab will appear in the member portal titled My Office. Whenever the members click this tab will take them directly to their private office floor plan. From the private office floor plan, members can easily select a desk for them and book it for the day. All of the colleagues will be there listed, and you can very easily see where your friends are working in the office. I'm still trying to book a desk for tomorrow, Friday. So I see that my friend Tony's sitting over here and I'd love to sit next to him. So I'm going to click on Hot Desk 7. I can very easily click on that hot desk and then book it for the day. I'm really easily able to schedule my workout into next week as well. So if I want to look at the offices in the upcoming days and book something for next Tuesday when I'm coming in, I can also very easily do that and book it with one click. Members also have access to the Schedule tab, which gives them a really good scheduled view of who's working in the office and when. You can select specific favorites. You have your favorite colleagues within the office to see when they're coming into the office, so you know what days you want to come in. I can see that my friend Connor is coming in on Thursday, so I can very quickly click on Thursday, select where I want to book that day, and actually book a desk. The system intelligently recognizes the most recent desk that I booked. And so if I want, I can just click book now, or if I want to choose a specific desk, I can do that as well. This allows your members to get a really holistic experience to understand which of their teammates are coming into the office on which days. Members will also get direct access to workplace analytics, so they can see things like which members are coming to the office and make better workplace decisions based on usage data. Only the team leaders or contact persons of those organizations will be able to see this data. This is not available to everyone, just certain people within the organizations. As I mentioned earlier, we believe that this will give team leaders in private offices really good utilization data to understand which employees are booking the most, when they're coming in, what's the busiest day of the week, and so on and so forth. This was a quick look at the experience we have developed to help your member companies work better within your co-working space. One other aspect of this that I forgot to mention, member companies have the ability to actually go in and look at their direct office map. As I'll get to in a little bit, this can be configured as well by the operator, but members are able to go in, adjust desk, adjust the floor plan with different pictures if they need to, and we give the team leaders of those local private offices all of this functionality. So that was a quick look at the experience from the member side. Now let's take a little bit of a look at the benefits that you get as an operator by implementing hybrid workplace at your co-working space. One moment. Great. So the hybrid workplace integration provides operators with new revenue opportunities and competitive advantages over other flex spaces that cannot support hybrid teams. By embracing hybrid work, co-working operators can attract larger tenants into smaller spaces and maximize your revenue per square foot. Once the hybrid workplace integration is enabled, operators will even have the ability to advertise hybrid workplace services to their members within the shop, providing even more revenue streams for the business. We truly believe that the hybrid workplace integration will help attract new tenants, optimize their workspace experience, and offer a range of flexible services to existing members. We really would love to hear your thoughts here. While I'm demoing this functionality from the member perspective, feel free to share some of the things you're excited about within the hybrid workplace integration. All right, I'm going to jump into the operator experience, and we will go from there. All right, so let's take a look at, hold on, I'm getting a message in the chat. Yes, like I mentioned earlier, feel free to share in chat any of the things that you're excited about with this new integration, and we'd love to hear it. Okay, so now you can see that I'm in my operator portal right here, and we're going to talk a little bit about enabling the hybrid workplace integration for some of these member companies. To do this, click on this hybrid workplaces button in the bottom left, and you will be brought to the hybrid workplace integration section. The very first time you click this, you will need to click a button that says enable this integration. That page shows you some of the benefits of the integration, but once you've clicked an enable button, it's very easy to manage this add company page and manage the companies that have this integration. So once you've enabled the integration, it's very easy to add new companies that you want to start using the hybrid workplace integration. To do this, click on the add company button. First, pick the company that you want to enable the integration for. This is that member company that is working out of a private office that has expressed interest in working in a more hybrid way. So we're going to select legal partners. You can choose up front if you want to make this visible to the members or not visible. In this case, we're going to make it not visible because we are setting it up in the backend. And finally, you can choose specifically what operators you want on your team to actually manage and have access to their backend settings. So for example, this might be the local community manager at that location. You want him or her to be able to adjust and edit their floor plan and set it up, so you can choose there. As I mentioned earlier, the only people within the member companies that will be able to access the analytics in the backend will be those local team leads, so the contact person or the billing person within that organization, member company. So I'm going to go ahead and add company. and it will make sure that I want to proceed. And I will be able to add a company. Great. So we've just enabled hybrid workplace for legal partners. As an operator, I'm able to go in on the back end and actually adjust some of the settings for that company. So I can actually click on this tab that says Open My Office and go in and adjust some of the backend settings. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like and how you might do that as a operator. Apologies. To set it up, you click on Setup, not Open My Office. So click on Setup to jump into the backend settings for setting up those member companies. The first thing you're generally going to want to do is upload a floor plan for that company. So click on this gear right here, click Edit Floor Plan Details, and you have the ability to upload a floor plan for that private office. We recommend using OfficeRnD Flex and taking a picture of their private office within the Places settings section of OfficeRnD Flex. You can also take a screenshot of the floor plan that you have, but regardless, you just need to provide a small floor plan for that private office so the member companies within that space can add their desk and very easily book. Once you've added that specific floor plan, upload it right here and click Update. Next, you're actually going to want to click on that floor and you can go and add specific desk within there that your members can book. So to do that, click on Add Desk. I'm going to say Hot Desk, and you can actually choose the specific desk within that private office that those members will be able to see and book for. As I mentioned before, the team leaders within those local private offices will also have the ability to edit it, but if you want to provide a full service and set it up for all of them beforehand, you're more than welcome to do that. So now that I've done that, I can click back and those desks will automatically be saved for the members to book. Once you've configured this, you can go back to the My Office, to the Add Company page, and actually click on the Open My Office tab to see exactly what that's going to look like for the member companies. So I showed you earlier, it was embedded in the member portal, and it normally is, but this allows your team to see what the view looks like from the member experience. So as an operator, I clicked on that. I can very quickly see these new desks that I've just gone and added and make sure everything looks great for the member company. Once I've configured this and I'm happy with the way it's set up, it's very easy for me as an operator to go back and click on that specific member company and actually make it visible to members. Once I click visible to members, that new My Office tab is going to show up for members within the member portal, and they will be able to enable and manage their hybrid bookings. So I'm going to click Save right now. And as I showed you guys earlier, once you click Save and that member company logs into their member portal, they will have this new My Office tab directly within their member portal. So this was a quick look at the operator setup experience for the new hybrid workplace integration. We're really excited to see how operators and member companies start using this functionality. And if you have any questions about setting this up, we have multiple videos, guides, support articles, and are always there with our support team to help you. So just let us know if you have any questions. With that, let's jump back into the presentation. So now that you've set up hybrid workplace for one of your member companies, there's a couple different ways that you can integrate the hybrid workplace integration into your business model. One of the models that we're seeing most often right now is simply adding this price to your membership. So this would allow you to actually sell hybrid workplace features as part of the base membership fees. In many cases, this might allow you to negotiate higher prices on a private office, sell it for $100 more than you would have normally because you're including hybrid workplace functionality for their members. As I mentioned, this gives you additional flexibility when negotiating contracts and allows you more flexibility in how you're setting up these memberships for your members by providing additional services. Another option that I mentioned earlier is to actually sell a paid add-on. So you could technically go into your shop and sell hybrid workplace functionality as a paid add-on within your co-working member shop. So if your members are interested in utilizing hybrid work, they could go to your shop and actually buy that functionality. You could price it at, say, $100 a month. They could buy that functionality, and once they purchased it, you would enable that functionality, hybrid workplace functionality, for them within the member portal. And finally, some operators might just want to offer this for free. because they know that hybrid working is important for some of their members, and it allows you to attract larger tenants into smaller spaces. Keep in mind, these are all just suggestions on how you could potentially implement the hybrid workplace functionality within your member portal. Feel free to reach out to our support and customer success teams for more ideas about how you could enable this within your offerings. We know every single brand is unique, and the way you might want to offer this functionality to your members is very different. So we're really excited to see the creative ways that operators are adding hybrid workplace functionality directly within their member portal. So as we've spoken about, hybrid workplace and hybrid working is a newer concept for many businesses. And we understand that some education might be required so that member companies can better understand what hybrid work looks like within your co-working space. We provide a few marketing assets below that you can share with members to promote the benefits of hybrid work. One of the one that I made, and I've already seen some operators actually rebrand this and incorporate this in their website, is a landing page. We'll make sure to send you guys these links after the call, but essentially this is a hybrid workplace landing page. If you have a member company that is interested in utilizing hybrid work and you need help selling it, you could share with them this landing page. This gives them multiple reasons why they could adopt hybrid work, goes over some of the benefits they get by utilizing this within your space, as well as a really nice, short and concise, unbranded video that you can share with these members so they understand what they're getting out of it. As I mentioned before, I've already seen some operators that have taken some of these assets and incorporated it directly on their own marketing website so that they have their own branded hybrid members workplace page that they can sell to their members as an additional service. We provided that. And as I just mentioned, we do have a nice 2-minute succinct YouTube video that covers all of this functionality for your members. And finally, we also have a slide deck we've created and has been shared in many of our product release announcements that you can reformat and use yourself to help sell to companies. As I mentioned before, we want to help you enable hybrid work to these teams and want to do our best to provide you the assets that you need to make sure your member companies understand what they're getting out of this solution. If there's anything that you think we're missing here or could add on to, we're all open ears and would love to hear more about some of the things that we could build to help you sell hybrid workplace. Great. So finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the pricing for operators. As I mentioned before, you have the flexibility to sell this to your members at whatever cost you want. So if you want to sell it for $100 a month for 10 members, you have full flexibility to do that within OfficeRnD. From the operator standpoint, the cost of the hybrid workplace integration is tied to the number of members that are using it in that member company. The cost for the hybrid workplace integration is $1, €1, £1 per active member per month. So that's $1 per active member per month. I will say, as this is a new functionality, we are offering an early adopter discount for the first couple months that will allow you to enable this for your hybrid members free. So definitely reach out to our customer success team or support team if this is something that you're interested in taking advantage of. As I mentioned, we really want to help operators roll this out to their customers, and we think there's a lot of extra benefits that you can provide for your member base through this. And with that, we're jumping into the Q&A session of the chat. I'm going to have my partner in crime, Mom Chill, join me on this call, and we will answer any questions that we see in the chat or the Q&A. Hey, Mom Chill.
Hey, Mike. Great overview.
Awesome. So let's see. Waiting to see if we have any more questions from, it looks like you've answered a lot of these questions. While anyone else is asking, is interested in some questions, I'm going to go through some of the ones that have already been asked. I guess, Momchil, you already answered this, but could you answer this in a little more detail? Carol asked, what impact, if any, does hybrid have on our occupancy analytics? Are the flexible desks counted as hot desk or dedicated desk?
Yeah, awesome question. No, actually, no impact. So the way it works, the resources that you create in hybrid, you saw how it is to create a resource, just to drag and drop some green dots on a office map. So in your Flex Analytics currently, there will be no change. So you have the occupancy, for example, if the office is occupied, it will stay at 100%. And when it comes to utilization, for example, on specific days, how many of these days were utilized, you will be able to check this within the hybrid analytics. And for time being, there is no connection between these two due to many reasons, but yeah, it's too complex, and for time being, we decide to keep it simple and have them separate. Yeah.
Awesome. This was another great question from Tim. He said, we are using the OfficeRnD member app, white label on the phone. Is hybrid workplaces fully integrated into the mobile app as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have it all. And even if you're not using the white label app, you also get it out of the box. Yeah.
Yep. So once you've enabled hybrid workplace for that member company, they'll have a new tab in their mobile app, and they could go book on the floor plan the same way you saw me show in the demo. They can also use the schedule page, all from their iOS or Android device. So I forgot to mention that during the main presentation, but that's definitely another important aspect. Okay, so this one's from Katie. It says, for the charging model to operator, if a member has 10 workspace offices, but 50 members wanting to use the hybrid, will it be a $50 per month charge? So it sounds like 10 workplace desks, but 50 members wanting to use the hybrid. What would the cost be?
Yes, it will be the 50 pounds. Here it's worth mentioning that already, as Mike mentioned, we talked with many operators before introducing this solution. And in some cases, we see an interesting use case that actually operators have like a company which operates around different locations, and some occasions they have only meeting rooms and things. So potentially down the road, we'll be also looking here to get some more flexibility around who we count as active member. This is the definition for the time being. And as Mike also mentioned, Katie, feel free to reach us to either your CS manager or support. We'll be starting with a very attractive offer at the beginning. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this is a great question from Sebastian. He said, is there support for charging the $1 per active member for operators, as the number of active members in a team might change every month? Operators selling it at $3 a month would have to calculate manually every month and create a respective fee in Flex. So I can jump into this with Mom Chill. So there's not a automatic way to do this in OfficeRnD Flex. But what we'd recommend and what we're already seeing is you're able to charge a lot more than $1 per month per member for this. For example, we've seen some models where people are charging $100 extra per month for an office of just 4 people. So you really have an opportunity to make profit on this and sell this as an added value service to some of these companies. So we don't imagine this is something where you'd change a slight amount every month. We imagine you'd sell this as a package, like for $50 a month for hybrid services, or $100 a month. It really depends on how many people are within that office. And we imagine it being kind of a flat fee, maybe until the members hit some sort of threshold, for example. But yeah, right now, there's not a way to do that necessarily automatically. You would be creating a hybrid workplace service or plan and selling that as well on top of their membership plan. Mom Chill, anything you want to add there? Or do you think that?
Yeah. We're also able to see a detailed extract of within the what we bill you. So you're able to see how many members actually were active, and you have this data. But for the timing, they won't be connected. If we see like with the adoption, as Mike mentioned, we can go in this direction and automate it. Makes sense. Yeah.
Another question. I saw there was a way to add meeting rooms for them to book out as well. Are those added any differently than the desk when setting up? So like a meeting room within a private office?
No, they're exactly the same way. Here, the beauty in the solution is that you can also connect it with your Google Auto Calendar. We've introduced this integration, so your companies can do this, and it's synced bidirectionally. So whenever they make a booking from the office map, it goes to Outlook or Google Calendar and vice versa.
Yep.
And just it's worth mentioning that you should manage from here only private meeting rooms. If they're shared within the space, this is not available for the time being.
Yep.
Yeah.
The shared one should stay within the normal OfficeRnD member portal that any members can use. But yes, you can absolutely have private offices, private meeting rooms within private offices, which is something we're seeing more of for larger tenants. And that would only be bookable by that hybrid team. So yes, you can absolutely add those as well. And to the point, Momcha was talking about the Outlook and Google Calendar integration. Those are hybrid features, but many of the hybrid features from our hybrid product, the tenants that you've enabled this hybrid workplace integration for will be able to use those if they want. And our support teams are happy to help you and help them get that configured if that's something you're interested in. This question is from Katie. She said, how about if we wanted to activate the option for all members as standard? That would be awesome if you wanted to do that. Would it be charged on current member base or be increased incrementally? The answer to that is yes, it would be charged based on the member companies that you activated it for. You know, there's definitely, it might not make sense to activate this for an individual person because they're working alone in the space. They don't need to collaborate with hybrid teams. We generally see you activating this for like larger teams that are working within your space for now, specifically within private offices. If that answers your question. But then the next question I think leads into that really, really nicely. Tim asked, and Mom Chill, this is something we've discussed. Does the solution also work for common hot desk in the open space or only in dedicated private offices? Mom Chill, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, it works only for dedicated private offices, but also if you have a assigned desk within the hot desking area, as we know many operators have such. For example, within the entire hot desking area, if you have 6 desk people within this team, a company can start manage them in the solution. When it comes to the entire hot desking area, down the road there are also improvements coming from the Core Flex team, and we'll try to make the experience as close as possible to what Mike showed, and this seamless and super beautiful office map and easy ways of booking. But for timing, it's not available for the common hot desk area. The reason behind is that it's not connected to the billing, and it's a lot of complexity. So we should see how to handle it down the road.
Yeah, no, Tim, that's a great question. And that's one of the first things we've started hearing from people that are using this. We definitely know it's an issue that we need to solve. Primarily with this release, it's focused on private offices, but I definitely think in the future, we will enhance the functionality even more so that these teams can work out in more of the open spaces. Because many times you might have a team that doesn't even have a private office, but they want to work in a hybrid way in the open space. So we absolutely understand what you're asking there. Stay tuned over the next couple of months because it's definitely an area we want to improve with this integration. Well, great. Well, it looks like those are all of the questions. Thank all of you guys for asking so many questions during the presentation and afterwards. We really are glad that so many of you joined us today. And as I've reiterated throughout this presentation, we want to work with you to implement hybrid workplace within your community. We know that this is a new, somewhat comprehensive big feature, and you might have a lot of questions. Our team is here to support you as you're rolling this out to your customers and want to help you sell it to your customers. So please reach out to your customer success manager or our support team if you need more help and want us to walk you through this in more detail. We really are truly excited about the potential of hybrid working in your co-working space. Thank you so much for joining us today in this webinar, and we are truly excited to help you guys deliver the next generation of flexible work. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.